Today I want to talk about the little Rumblejack here. It's a dagger you get at the end of the new war quest, along with the Nataroot, which I already talked about. And this little quest dagger is worth talking about. It's a little status beast. You could use it with a straightforward build the moment you get it at the end of the new war, and then it could scale up with you on your journey to the Steel Path with some new mods and arcanes you'll acquire along the way. This thing's a monster. It's a pretty good beast. It's not like a big crit weapon. You won't be seeing, 9 billion damage, triple exclamation mark red crits with it. But enemies will die. They will get some like little death by 1,000 cuts with the electric procs this thing brings. And it's very potent. And if you like the dagger, if you like the way it looks, um, you just want to have a free weapon, really. Like a free to play loadout, you could run the Natarook and the Rumblejack and have like a really good time for a long time. And they're just two beasts of a weapons. And I talked about the Natarook, so I figured it's time to talk about the Rumblejack. So I got some level 15 armor here. These are about the level of like enemies you'll see on the star chart once you finish the new war quest. And I have like my kind of like newbie build on that you could probably put on as soon as you get the weapon. And I'm just going to show you like what you can expect if you're like new to the game and you just got this thing. And we are just holding down the light attack and going forward. And it's solid. I'm built for viral and it has innate electric. I know normally the meta is viral heat, but because we have the innate electric, we can't do that, or else we'd end up with viral radiation, which isn't the end of the world, but I just prefer this here. And they all died before we even hit 6 times combo, so that's pretty good. Obviously, that took a while. It is, a tiny little dagger, and we're doing some light attack spam with it. But this is for if you're new to the game and you just acquired this thing. It will put up numbers with a light attack build. You will do perfectly fine with this thing. If you're running around and you're just holding down the melee button, the Rumblejack will do fine um, with the beginner build I have. Now I'll show you how it scales up to the Steel Path with my late game build here. We'll switch over and set these guys up. We'll get some tough working guys. Stick them to Steel Path. Max out their levels. Simulate them. And yeah, this thing is pretty good. The electric procs do get hung up on heavily armored enemies, but I want you to think of them like conduits for your influence procs to spread it out to then the grunts. So obviously we have just two big heavy guys here left. Nothing crazy going on there. But in mission, trust me, influence will work absolute numbers on the heavy units. They kind of act like power pylons, just pinging the influence damage from around each other in the mission. And it works just fine. It kind of looks silly there towards the end with the two heavy gunners left, but trust me, it'll look fine because I do use it in mission. You'll see it in mission. I'm just going to show the build and dip. But let's talk about the builds. So this is my beginner build. I'm pretty sure you get most of these mods pretty easily. Pressure Point you should definitely have by the end of New War. Weeping Wounds and Condition Overload, I'm pretty sure those both drop from like Deimos bounties and Deimos enemies. I could be wrong. Heck, they changed the junction so much they might be junction rewards at this point. I'm not sure. And Fury for attack speed, I think this thing really likes the attack speed since we're light attack spamming. You could go normal reach. There's normal. You could go normal reach for more range if you feel like you don't need the attack speed. That could swap out. And then I have these mods here. I don't really recommend these ones. If you are a beginner, I would recommend the 60/60 mods instead. But most people won't really have those off rip. You either have to grind for these or buy them typically. These aren't things that will normally drop for you when you're farting around the star chart and doing your quest. Typically, you buy them or grind for them and whatnot. So you might not have these. I do highly recommend these over the blue mods here. And you could fit 3 max level 60/60s here instead. You could do that, and this. This will perform a lot better, but like when you're making this build, you don't really need this high performance off rip like that. It worked fine with just those blue mods, so you will do a-okay. And the only caveat here also is melee elementalist. I think you only unlock like the Jade Shadows quest line after. I'm not sure. I remember these mods coming out with Jade Shadows. I don't know if they only drop from the enemies in Ascension or not. I'm not sure. But yeah, this one might be hard to get. If not, you could run Reach and Fury here instead, and it would probably work just as fine. But yeah, that's my beginner build. With some tweaks you can make to it along the way to make it better and whatnot. On to this big build. It does look a little funky. This is because I didn't want to put another form on it for the sake of this video and it just being like accessible. If I were to upgrade it, I would probably put another forma on it, and I would put primed pressure point. I know that's kind of hearsay with the condition overload already on here, but I do think it helps a lot if you were to put pressure point along with condition overload. It would help a lot. I do run normal status builds like that pretty often. I'll run pressure point and condition overload and it'll help a lot. But this works just as fine. You will see this works just as fine. We're going to do a Mott Void Survival, and it will be a-okay. As for upgrades, we make over the regular build. We have Galvanized Elementalist now, so more status chance. And we have the Shattering Impact mod that'll give us Armor Strip, and it'll make our electric procs do a lot more damage when the enemies have their armor ripped off of them. We have only 2 electric mods with no viral, and that's because of Shattering Impact. I think it all works pretty well together. We have Berserker Fury over regular Fury for even more attack speed, and condition overload over pressure point, but I would recommend running both. And Weeping Wounds is still here. He's still hanging out. So 2 very simple builds. I do think they're very accessible for new players. Even this endgame one here, the most expensive thing here is Influence. But this is really to just give us a bunch of AoE and extra status chance damage and whatnot. So it's very good. I mean, there's not much to say. If you know about this arcane, you probably know why it's here without much explanation. This comes from the Sanctum Atomica and grinding your Whispers in the Walls bounties and stuff. So it is definitely a must-have. If you could get one melee arcane, if you were like, hey man, I don't have a lot of time to play the game and I need to get one singular melee arcane, get yourself some Influence and you'll be having a good time. But yeah, that's my build. For the sake of the showcase, I'll have Naramon on, so I never run out of combo count. You get infinite combo count basically with this. And I'll just probably run my Dorigia Death Cube to prime some guys with some elements. And I'll have a good time in some Void Mott Survival. The Rally update's out, and we got this new sick Kalerva Deluxe skin as well that I'm going to be running. I didn't get the bundle. I just got the regular pack. Well, not pack, but just the skin by itself for 165 plat. And I'm liking it. I'm not sure if I'm set with this color scheme. It's a little dark. Maybe I'll lighten it up a little bit. But yeah, I'll see you in some Mott Survival. Alrighty, we are back in some Mott Survival here. I'm going to get my Overguard up. And we're just going to be doing some Rumblejack things with Influence. I remember when this melee first came out. When Influence first came out, everyone honed in on this dagger specifically because of the innate electric on it. And people were going to town with just a bunch of crazy Influence Rumblejack builds. And then it kind of died off. Because then everyone realized that you could just mod for viral electric, and you don't really need to force proc electric to have a good time with Influence. But the Rumblejack's still good with Influence, still very worth using. I do like that a lot of the quest weapons are like super accessible and have decent builds that can carry you from one point of the game to another. And this weapon's definitely one of them. It's not something you can just toss in the trash and part ways with. Boom, boom, boom. What else happened today? Today's update day. Like I said, your Rally Prime is out. I bought a bunch of relic packs with my saved up rep. And I'm going to crack some Radiant Bounties in a bit. And try and get some of her parts and rad shares. We'll see what happens. Yeah, but Influence is just putting in so much work here. Our Galvanized Elementalist So we're getting extra like elemental proc damage on our electric hits when they tick. Here we are getting stuck on a heavy guy. And I am on Clervo. Obviously, you could do like hybrid crit build stuff, shenanigans, light attack spam. If I was spamming my one, or like anything that buffs you with a flat crit chance, whether you're running Avenger or Harrow, Clervo, Adarza Kabat. Obviously, anything like that would make this weapon much better, but it doesn't need to be much better because it kind of cooks on its own. Oh, silly me! Didn't have my overguard up. I got knocked down by the flame wave. Over here, we'll do a little slam. Yeah, and all those guys are dead. Yeah, we're just having a good time. This thing is a little pocket beast. You know, tiny little dagger, tons of damage. It's pretty solid. And this is the Steel Path. This is Mott Survival Steel Path. And we're chilling. We're chilling. Boop, boop, boom. Now, I do think we're going to get hung up on the Acolyte a little bit. I do think that thing does not care about our Rumblejack and how good it is whatsoever. Boop. Slam, and go to town. Slam, go to town. They are nerfing slams, but I was actually shocked the direction they went. I thought they were going to nerf the damage, because I got the Magistar Incarnate with a Riven, and the numbers that thing puts up is insane. They're nerfing the AoE on slams, which I'm okay with. I thought for sure they were going to go for the damage numbers. But I guess it makes sense. The damage numbers of slams spent years being pretty bad. So I guess it makes sense to go after the AoE instead of the numbers that they tried to fix all these years. So I'm all for it. We will see how it feels once it comes out. Yeah, honestly, it's just such a chill weapon. Like I said, the only thing we're going to get hung up on is the Acolyte, probably, when they decide to appear out of nowhere. Yeah. Also, this Clervo skin, with the lighting, I think I'm going to go for like a darker chest on this thing than the bright white I have on now. I think it'll probably look a little better. Oh, here he comes. I don't think he's going to care for... Holy KPM, good lord. We're at 5:30. And we're 4 minutes in. That's pretty crazy. Right, violence, high. Oh, this is respectable, no? I spoke too soon. Well, it's alright. I think we can agree this is just alright. Maybe the most aggressive 5 out of 10 Acolyte kill you've ever seen. Maybe you want to call it a 6 out of 10. I don't know. It's like the most aggressive Middington Acolyte kill. But hey, this thing for mobbing, it ain't half bad. It ain't half bad. I remember I got this one time on like EDA in the Sanctum Atomica, and I was like, oh yeah, I forgot I slammed the build on this thing and made it pretty good. Yeah, but we do get stuck on the heavy units, I will say. Yeah, you will get stuck there. Maybe if I put an extra form in and primed pressure point and whatnot, we wouldn't get stuck on heavy units. I think we still probably would with primed pressure point. I think this thing just excels at shredding fodder. But yeah, mini pocket dagger beast is what the Rumblejack is. You get this puppy, and it'll be your best friend for a long time. I think the Broken Wars is what's the best quest melee weapon? It's probably the Zorus, but that's like, it's not a typical melee. He's like the black sheep because he's a heavy attack glaive. He's a little weirdo, the Zorus. But I think if you just want a light attack spam, I think the Broken War is probably the best. Great slash, base damage, and whatnot. Yeah, but this thing's good. This thing's great. It's a raw status monster. Yeah, I need to change my Clervo colors. Anyways, yeah, see you. Bye.